musky walleye bass.
Big John's Fishing Show.
Okay, here we go. Woo! Hey guys, Big John here. Hey guys, Big John here. So yeah guys, it's March the 4th, 2020, and I'm getting ready to kick off my season. And I'm gonna start it off with walleye, guys. And generally right after ice out, I usually start off with a technique that we call handlining. There we go, guys. Down here on the Detroit River. Very productive way of fishing. Don't ever let anybody tell you that there's no skill to handline. There's a lot of skill to handlining. You gotta watch in front of you at all times. You gotta time boats. Come out a little bit. I'll throw right back over that. And you gotta tack back and forth on these shelves because if you're trolling straight, you're just not gonna catch the fish that you're gonna catch tacking back and forth off the drop-offs on the Detroit River. And St. Clair River too. I've never handlined the St. Clair River, but I know a lot of guys do. And they do well on it up there too. So yeah guys, this is what I like to use. It's an A&S reel made right in Detroit, Michigan. And yeah, basically it just holds like 300 feet of wire. It's got a retractable spring built inside, and it just goes back and forth. So you drop down, you let your weight go down to bottom, and then you just work off bottom, nice and slow. And then when you got a fish, you just pull in, and this retracts all your wire line back into the reel. So this is nice. Not too many people know about these in other parts of the world. It's just, and I still worry, you know, that someday we won't be able to buy new handline reels. So every time I see them at a yard sale, I'll pick them up because they're nice to have. And with that being said, guys, you mount two of these to the boat, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. I got a third one, and I always bring that when I go handlining. Because it's good to have a spare, guys. If the spring lets go in these, or something lets go, you got that spare on the boat. And yeah, because what are you going to tell the other guy? Oh, you can't fish? You know, it's nice to have the spare on the boat. With that being said, too, if you guys ever need to get reel repairs done on the Canadian side, I can't speak for the American side, guys, because I live in Amherstburg, Ontario, which is right next to Windsor. But if you ever need to get these reels repaired, you could go down to Strictly Fishing, and Chuck's really good at repairing these reels. Actually, every season before I go fishing, I take them in the truck and say, give them a little tune-up, and he'll open them up and make sure everything's working good, and then rewind them, and they're good to go. And he can get parts. And not just A&S reels, he works on other reels too. If he can fix it, he will. So yeah, that brings me to my leads, guys. So, or no, let's talk first about weight and shank. Okay, so here's my weight and shank. Basically a 1.5 pound weight. Some guys run 2 pounds. I like running a 1.5 pound. I feel that if I can't feel bottom with a 1.5 pound, then I'm trolling too fast. That's just how I feel. So 20 inches up, you have your first cleat. That's where your 20-foot lead's going to go. And then 20 more inches up, which is 40 inches from the weight, is where your 40-foot lead goes. And that's basically it. This just hooks up to the handline reel, and you drop it down and you work it. I'll show you here. Oh, I should talk to you about this. Later on in the year when you run spoons, a lot of guys will run a little 5-foot lead. You want to get these, they're called Snubbers. I think they're called Snubbers or Stubbers, or if I'm saying it wrong, you guys could correct me. But anyways, what it is, it hooks right down here because your 5-foot lead is basically like right on the weight. So this will act when you have 5-foot lead, you don't have much stretch in your line, whereas you have a lot of stretch with a 20 and a 40. So a lot of times with a 5-foot lead being that close to the weight, it's easy for a walleye to shake it off. And that's where these snubbers come in handy. It gives you a lot of stretch, which allows that fish to stay on. Okay, so yeah, anyways, when you're doing your boards, guys, I cut my boards at 1 foot. I use 1 foot boards. It's just pressure treated. The reason I go with a 1 foot long board is if you ever had to make new leads out there on the boat, you know that if you wrap it around 20 times, you're getting 40 feet. If you wrap it around 10 times, you're getting your 20. So that just makes it easy on the boat if you ended up having to make leads out there. And yeah, the last thing, guys, we'll talk about lure selection. These are what they call, this is a pencil plug. This one here is made by Night Stalkers, and pencil plugs come in wood, they come in plastic, they come in all sorts of different materials, but so the pencil plug I find is really productive at night after dark, and early in the season right after ice out. I've had good days with pencil plugs, and sometimes when the water's dirty, it's easier for them to see those longer baits. So that's when that comes in handy. Same with the number 13. When the water's cold early in the season, fish are a little bit slower. They can see it great, and they'll grab a 13 early in the season. As the season gets going, guys, and it gets a little bit more active, I moved down to a number 11 and the number 9s. Number 9's my go-to. Once I start getting them on the number 9, it's tough for me to go back to a 11 or a 13. Right before you get the spoons, guys, you could go with the number 7, and they work good. And then spoons are nice because you got a single hook. You don't. I don't run trebles on my spoons, so it's nice. You can unhook walleye really easy with a single hook spoon. That's it, guys. That's hand lining. It's done right here on the Detroit River. Not too many people know about this in other spots of the world. It's a very productive way to catch walleye. And they also do it up on the St. Clair River. And guys, up on that St. Clair River, they do another technique called whipping. I've never gone up and done it. I'd like to go up and do it sometime. But if anybody wants to come on the Big John show and talk about whipping, I would love that. You know, it'd be something new for me to learn too. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Big John's out, and we'll see you on the water, man. It's here. Cheers, guys. Love yous all. Big John's out. Be positive. Don't be negative. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And yeah, man. Cheers.